I'm going to show you how AI can not only help you prepare for coding interviews, but also ace them. You see, since the introduction of AI has taken the world by storm over the last year or two, people have been finding all sorts of ways to use it. But one thing I never hear anyone talking about is using AI to help with their coding interviews. And the most popular and widely used AI tool out there is undoubtedly ChatGPT. In fact, you're probably already very familiar with this tool. Now, I could just give you the prompts to use in ChatGPT, but you won't be able to get the most out of it. That's because an AI is a tool, and like any tool, there's a certain way you need to use it to get it to do what you want. You can't just ask ChatGPT questions. You have to make sure you seed the chat correctly or give the AI appropriate context to better help you out. So before we dive into any actual prompts to use, we need to do some setup. One thing that has really helped me when using ChatGPT is specifying the role for the AI to take. While ChatGPT knows a lot, in order to get more targeted and detailed responses, you need to tell the AI how to act instead of just jumping in and asking it questions. In the case of coding interviews, you can start by asking, I'm looking to improve my coding interview skills. Could you please act as an experienced software engineering interviewer and provide guidance on interview preparation? By doing this, you're letting the AI know the role it's expected to take during your conversation. By taking the time to do this, you can expect more targeted and detailed responses from the AI. Feel free to tweak the prompt. It doesn't have to be exactly what I did, but just something along those lines. Alright, so if you follow those tips, then your chat should be primed and ready to go. Now, you could just start asking questions, but I think it's important to understand in what areas the AI can help. First, let's understand how ChatGPT can help us with coding interviews. You see, coding interviews have many stages, from the initial phone screen to the on-site interview, behavioral questions, and possibly even take-home projects. Keeping these stages in mind is crucial because if you know which area gives you the most trouble, then you can focus your prep on those specific areas. But generally speaking, I found that most software engineers struggle with behavioral interviews. And understandably so, as behavioral questions are often neglected when prepping in favor of solving lead code style questions. So first, let's take a look at a prompt you can use to help with behavioral questions. You can say something like, I'm preparing for a behavioral interview at Google for the position of iOS engineer. Could you provide some typical behavioral interview questions that software engineer candidates might encounter in this interview? Give me a list of 10 questions. If you're looking for more specific types of questions, like leadership questions, then you can follow up with something like, can you provide an example of a behavioral interview question that an interviewer might ask to assess a candidate's leadership skills? In my experience, most behavioral questions fall into three main categories: leadership, success, and technical. Leadership is self-explanatory, but success means how you succeeded at something in past roles, and technical covers the technical challenges you face in your past projects and having the ability to talk at length about them. The questions will be flavored around how you handled certain situations following these three categories. To get the most out of your practice, make sure to follow the STAR format when answering questions. So that's going to do it for behavioral questions. If you're looking for questions to test your knowledge about certain technologies based on your specialty or skills, then you can ask something like, I'm preparing for an iOS engineer position. Could you provide me with 10 technical interview questions relevant to this role? This should give you a decent set of starting questions relevant to your role that you should be able to answer. If you can't, then just look up the answer and learn from it. The only downside to this prompt is you'll generally be given random questions. But we can take this prompt a step further and tailor it to the job that you're applying to. I have the job description for the position I'm interviewing for. Can you generate and ask me interview questions tailored to this role? Then you would paste the job description. So now you can tailor your preparation strategy to the role that you want. Let the job description dictate what you need to study. Doing this for multiple positions can generate a solid pool of questions for you to practice with. Finally, we can actually tie all of this together in the form of a mock interview. Yes, you heard right. With ChatGPT, you don't need another person to help conduct a mock interview. You can just ask the AI. The easiest way is to ask it this: could we conduct a mock interview for the iOS engineer position? You'll ask the questions, I'll respond, and then you can provide feedback. Let's start with just one question to begin. After receiving the question, do your best to answer it. If you're unsure of your answer or are looking for immediate feedback on how you answer the question, then you can include this in your next response. Here's my answer. Please tell me how this would be considered as an interview response, and make sure to highlight any strengths or weaknesses of my answer. then you would include your answer. By studying the AI's responses, you can get a better idea of what your weaknesses are and how you can work to improve them. So that's basically how you can use an AI to help you practice for interviews. In my opinion, leveraging AI for coding interview prep is a total game changer. With so many layoffs happening in the past year, it's crucial to make use of tools that can help you stand out from the crowd. While AI is still in its infancy, it is still an effective tool that can help you practice skills you wouldn't normally train, like behavioral questions, and improve in those areas. By leveraging AI, you can better familiarize yourself with questions and topics you might encounter in a real-world coding interview. While this video can help you prepare more efficiently for a coding interview, it doesn't show you how to stand out during a coding interview. You see, first impressions are everything, and during an actual coding interview, there are various tips and tricks you can use to impress your interviewer and give yourself that edge that other candidates might not have. If you're curious as to how to do this, then do me a favor and check out this video right here, where I give you 5 tips you can implement in your next interview that are guaranteed to make you stand out from other candidates and increase your chances of receiving an offer. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.